All right, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my idea about expansion. The page you're looking at has just all the free agents, the top free agents that are available right now. And if we had an expansion draft, that would be, let's say it was the maximum amount of teams that I would add for this league to where it was capped out, that would be six new teams. And they would be run by, if I could find new owners, they'd be run by those guys that I know, or I would have some of us run two teams. I wouldn't be part of this draft because I'm already running the Knicks. But if six of you guys wanted to take on a second team, it could be a lot of fun because it would make for a dispersal of talent. This league has always been based on an 18 team format. I started with 18 and then I had to pare it down to what it was. And now I'm slowly trying to expand it again since I found some guys that enjoy the game. And I feel like some of you guys would enjoy running a second team. Obviously, you couldn't trade with yourself, so there would be no conflict of interest. But you could use your second team in a strategic way against your opponents. Like this year, I was able to win the championship because I could play musical chairs at small forward with Jimmy Butler. For a short period of time, I had Aaron Gordon of the Nuggets, and then I traded Butler when he got hurt. I traded him in for Kawhi Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard was just like pure gold, and I rode him to the championship. In a league like this, if we had more teams, even if it was 16 teams, there's no way that Kawhi Leonard is probably a free agent, so I can't pull that move. If we expanded by six teams, you can see that all these positions are going to be pared down. Like you could just go to point guards, you'll see that probably the top six point guards, all taken by the expansion teams. Now, there may be some other players entering this free agent pool from the teams that exist already, but you'd be left, these guys would all be gone, and so you couldn't play that whole musical chairs game with superstars like I did this year. I think it would be a little more fair and realistic if we had more teams so we could avoid that scenario. you know it worked out for me, and it could work out for anybody. I didn't get the war I would have expected for between owners trying to battle for these players. Nobody seemed to be challenging me to sign players like Kawhi Leonard. So yeah, six new teams, four new teams. It would definitely soak up some of this talent, and it would make it a lot more challenging to play musical chairs with players. You could still do it, but it would make rosters more reasonable. And with more teams, that means there's more money in the market, and we're starting to get too much money. You'll find that teams are probably not spending all their money. Like me, I potentially have about 70 million ahead, in cap space this offseason. And if we expanded by four teams, that really takes down the free agent market that I would have available to me with that 70 million. It changes things a lot. I won't be able to buy a superstar necessarily with that 70. A lot of it might just be sitting around unspent. And that tells me that we have too much money in the league. I think a lot of teams will be comfortably under the cap if they want to be. If they want to work at it, they can do that. So therefore, we would stay at 235. 235 would be our cap right now, and it would probably stay that way next year. I mean, beyond next year, possibly beyond next year again, until there was more of a. What I'm looking for is more parity in the league, less teams at the bottom. Less really bad teams. Everybody kind of stepping up and being competitive. Once I get that, then I would consider expansion on salaries, little inflation, because the players by then would then have evened out throughout the teams. The teams that had them when they came up for contract, they couldn't afford them; they'd have to let them go, and then the lesser teams would start accumulating more quality players, and then there would be parity, and you'd see it in the records. At that point, then it makes sense to maybe have a little inflation in salary caps, but that would take about 2 years, 3 years to get to that point, I think, and that's why I would just like to leave it at 235 for a while. That's beyond. I mean, that's going deeper into the conversation. For now, I'm just trying to find six of you that would be willing to run a second team, and I was trying to tell you the merits of it, how it could be a lot of fun. It is fun with a rebuilding project, and with all that parity in the league, there's going to be less talent per team. So eventually, you're going to catch up to the pack. If you take on an expansion team, you will eventually catch them. It just takes a little bit of patience and just some draft picks, maybe some good young picks. And another thing I'm going to do is in the future I'm going to have a lottery for the bottom six teams where each team has an equal shot at getting one of the top three picks, and I'm going to have a lottery for the top three picks. It'll be completely random amongst the bottom 6 teams. It doesn't matter if you're the worst team, you don't get better odds or anything like that. So they would be going for those top 3 picks. Once those top 3 picks were picked and a team was assigned to them, then whoever was the worst team would get the 4th pick, and it would go right on through like that. And I think that's all I got to say on that one. I'd like you guys to respond to the poll if you could at the website. Just let me know what you're thinking, how many teams you'd be comfortable with expanding, or if you like the system the way it is. Playing the musical chairs is definitely possible. You could get yourself into a title like I did. You just got to be ready come the end of January. That's when the cutoff is for when you can't waive a player and free up money anymore and make trades. So you got to be thinking basketball at that time of year, but it can be done. The Saints were evidence of that. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later.